Dear listeners, peace be with you. If you are looking for real fear, stay right here with Spirit Horror World. Wherever you are listening from today, whether you are joining us live or watching later, we send you our warmest greetings and love. We hope you are safe, healthy, and doing well. Dear listeners, in today's episode, God willing, we will be sharing 3 true incidents. We believe each one has the power to send a chill down your spine. If you have experienced something unexplained or terrifying yourself, you can share it with us. You can write to us or send a voice recording. Email us at spirithorrorworld@gmail.com. And after watching, let us know how these stories made you feel by leaving a comment below. If you enjoyed this video, please press the like button. Share it with others who love real horror stories, so Spirit Horror World can reach more people like you. Through you, we may uncover even more true stories of fear. Now, without further delay, let's move on to the first incident of today's episode. At the time of this incident, Bijoy was just a child. He was around 8 or 9 years old. Back then, he used to sleep every night beside his grandmother. She was nearly 70 years old and not an ordinary woman. People often came to visit her. Bijoy saw and heard all of this. When guests spoke with his grandmother, he would be lying quietly on the bed inside the same room. One afternoon, a well-dressed woman came to visit. That day, Bijoy clearly heard the woman say, "My lower back hurts terribly. You know so much about these things. Is there any solution?" After hearing this, his grandmother stayed silent for a while. Then she began telling a story from her own past. Bijoy lay there listening to every word. She said that when she was around 40 years old, she became involved in certain unusual practices. At that time, she had a close friend named Rahima. Rahima listened to people's problems, especially physical pain. Lower back pain, neck pain, leg pain, joint pain, long-term illnesses that refused to go away. To solve these problems, they performed a specific kind of ritual. Bijoy's grandmother was Rahima's assistant. Sometimes she performed the rituals herself. They took money from the patients. Then, as part of the solution, offerings were made to powerful Jinn. This was not Jinn worship, but there were strict rules for making offerings to them. Many candles had to be lit, sweets were placed inside a clay pot, and certain chants were spoken. It was a very specific ritual. Every step had to be followed exactly. Most of the time, Rahima performed these rituals, but she could not always leave her house at night. When that happened, the responsibility fell on Kamala, Bijoy's grandmother. Sometimes Rahima had guests. They only accepted the offering, and then they did the work. That was it, nothing more. So Kamala went. After arriving, she sat down at the spot and lit candles all around her. In front of her, she placed the sweets inside the clay pot. Then she began the ritual, exactly the way she always did. Minutes passed. Nothing happened. No response. No sound. That was strange. Normally, it never took this long. 15 to 20 minutes at most. Never more than that. But now, an entire hour had passed. Still nothing. Meanwhile, the candles were slowly burning down. She had brought extra candles with her. Whenever one was close to burning out, she replaced it immediately. She had to make sure no candle went out completely. That part was critical. Out there, in the open wetland, wind came from every direction. If a candle went out because of the wind, it could be relit.
But if a candle burned out entirely on its own, that was forbidden. Kamala continued the ritual. Time kept moving. Still, nothing. No presence, no movement. The candles were now close to their end. At best, they had 10 minutes left. And then, something unnatural happened in the water pit in front of her. Violent ripples suddenly spread across the surface. At first, Kamala was not afraid. She was surprised, because the Jinn had never arrived like this before. Usually, they appeared in human form. They came calmly, they took the sweets, they listened, and then they left. But this time, it was different. She stared at the water. Slowly, 3 massive shapes began to rise. 3 enormous wild boars. Not ordinary animals. They looked like savage forest boars, but far larger than anything she had ever seen. Their tusks were long and razor sharp. Their eyes burned bright red, like glowing embers. All 3 locked their gaze on Kamala and let out deafening roars. It was the sound of a boar, but multiplied into something monstrous. They began tearing into the ground with their hooves, digging violently, as if they were trying to rip the entire place apart. Chunks of earth collapsed into the water. The shoreline crumbled again and again. Yet, strangely, they did not come close to her. This horrifying chaos lasted only a few minutes. Then suddenly, all 3 boars vanished in an instant, as if they had never existed. Kamala let out a breath and thought to herself, "Thank God, I survived." But the fear was far from over. Once again, the water began to move, this time even more violently. From the water emerged 3 gigantic foxes. Their cries were fox calls, but so intense it felt like her eardrums would burst. They moved toward her. It looked like they were about to attack, but the moment they reached the edge of the candlelight, they stopped. They did not step forward, not even once. After a few moments of terrifying screams, they too disappeared without warning. Now Kamala was truly afraid. She had never seen anything like this before. She was used to calm, human-like appearances, not these savage, twisted forms. One question kept spinning in her mind. This had never...
Rahima spoke softly and said, "I went to your house first. When I saw how late it was, I knew something had gone wrong. That's why I came here." What was truly shocking, the terrifying elephants standing right in front of Kamala were completely invisible to Rahima. At that moment, Kamala could no longer hold herself together. She rushed forward and wrapped her arms around Rahima. Her voice was shaking as she said, "You came just in time. If you hadn't shown up tonight, I don't think I would have survived. I was in terrible danger. Please, let's leave this place right now." Without thinking twice, they abandoned everything. The clay pot, the sweets, the candles, all of it was left behind. They turned around and left the area as fast as they could. After that night, Kamala was never able to understand why those entities had become so aggressive, but one thing became very clear to her. She made a decision that same night. She would never do this work again. Rahima made the same choice. Both of them realized that this path held no true good for them. Yes, people may have benefited, that much was true, but whatever they were offering in return, perhaps it was not acceptable to the Jinn, and maybe that was why they had grown furious. Whatever the reason, neither of them ever returned to this practice again. Later, when the woman with severe back pain came back, Kamala told her the entire story. Then she said plainly, "I left this work many years ago. I can't do these things anymore." This entire story was heard by Bijoy as a child while lying beside his grandmother. There is one thing worth mentioning here.
Usually, rituals involving offerings like this are performed by men, but the courage Kamala showed, even as a woman, was truly unusual. Bijoy has told us that his grandmother is still alive today. Age has brought its share of illness, but she is still with us. And that was the first incident of today's episode. Bijoy has asked all of us to pray for his grandmother, and we pray as well, that Allah, the Most Merciful, forgives all her mistakes and shortcomings.